Hello everyone, welcome to today's Update Tuesday. I apologize, I'm not live today. I've got something I've got to do tonight, so I thought I would get this video made because I did not want you to miss out on these super cute cards. This is the photo that Stampin' Up! Shared with us today, and their theme today was basically stepping it up, starting with a basic card, moving on to something a little more difficult, and then moving up even more with that. Basically same layout, same design type deal. So today I'm gonna make this very first card. Super simple, super easy, but super adorable too. And then I'm gonna do something that's just a little bit in between these two. Because although I love this card, I really love this paper. Now for this card, they use their triangle dies, but I don't have those. So we're going to do something just a little bit different than this. They're cutting their triangles out with paper snips. We're going to use our paper trimmer. So I'm going to set that aside and let you know that the You Are Sunshine stamp and that little, I don't know, flourish stamp, whatever you want to call that little stamp, is from the Ridiculously Awesome stamp set, which is a fun one because it's just all sentiments. So we're going to get started with a Whisper White card base. And the next thing I did was I took a piece of Whisper White that's going to go on the front of this card, and I just ran it through the Subtles embossing folder. Now, the fun thing about the Subtles embossing folder is you can still stamp on here after you've embossed it because it really is that subtle. So we are going to take some Melon Mambo ink. That'll be our first color, and that's what we're going to use for our sentiment. So we're going to get that You Are My Sunshine in Melon Mambo. Make sure you've got it inked up good, and just put it right in the center of that piece. Now, that didn't turn out as good as I thought it was going to, so let me try just on a plain sheet because maybe they did not use subtle. I can hardly tell in that photo if they used a folder on this, so maybe they didn't do a folder. Or maybe they did the folder after they stamped on it. Right after I told you could stamp on it, it didn't turn out. So I guess some things you can stamp on it and some you can't. There, much better with just a plain sheet. So now you could run that through the Subtles folder now if you wanted to. I'm gonna set my ink out of the way, and then I'm gonna use that little cute little, I don't know what you call it. To me, it just looks like, I guess it's a little sun ray. It's a little, because it goes with the sunshine. So let's call it that with the little sun ray stamp. We're gonna use some Daffodil Delight. We're just gonna drop it all over the place. We're just gonna add a couple of those on the card. Now, I think they only did 3. They did. They just did those 3. And then take this, and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of it because I want to lift it up just a little bit. And you know how much I love my dimensionals. It's getting that sheet started is you got to bend it all over and move it to get it where you want it. So if you have any questions about what I'm doing, please add them in the comment and I will get to them as soon as I can. Like I said, obviously I'm not live, so I can't answer you directly right now. But I would love any comments. I would love it if you could share the video. That would be fantastic. Share it with your friends, have them join in. Maybe you can make some of these cards, even if it's not with this stamp set or the paper that I'm going to be using. You could use this same design to make other cards. So once they had this piece on here, they used some of the fantastic Artistry Blooms adhesive back sequins. Now I always got to use this to get them out because if you try to pull them out, sometimes one sheet at a time, you end up with all your little sequins popping off or sticking together. So just add a couple here and there. It doesn't matter what colors you use. I'm using I think it's the Mango Melody one. And then maybe this one here, this Melon Mambo. I believe it's Melon Mambo. If it's not Melon Mambo, it's Rich Razzleberry or something. Sometimes they're hard to tell because these are iridescent. So when you put them on, they're gonna give you lots of different colors. but that is another thing that I like about them, is that they give you more than one color so you can use them with different things. So there's the first card. I'm just gonna set that aside, and I'm actually gonna set my inks aside right now too, because for the second card, I'm gonna grab my paper trimmer, and I need to have room for us to trim, and I don't wanna move my camera out of the way, but I kinda need this space over here to the left. I should have thought of that when I first started, right? So we're going to use some of the fantastic Artistry Blooms Designer Series paper. And the print they used for this card was this print here. So we're gonna stick with that. I have a piece of Mango Melody that we're gonna use to cut some triangles with. And then we have Daffodil Delight for our card base. So I'm going to start by taking this piece and cutting it the same width and length as the Mango Melody and this piece of Daffodil Delight, which they are both 4 inches by 5 1/4. So we'll get it 4 inches wide, we'll get it 5 1/4 long. And then we're gonna use the paper trimmer to cut our triangles with. Now, this is not how they did it on their little sheet that I showed you. They just used their scissors. They had cut them out that way. This piece is going to stay just like this. We are not gonna do any cutting on this. But these two, I wanna cut actually exactly the same. So I'm gonna hold them together while I cut these. I'm gonna do my best to cut little triangles out of these. So all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna turn this kind of on its side. Then I'm gonna hold it together, and I wanna turn it this way and cut it this way a little bit. And now I'm not gonna be able to hold it together for this entire thing, I'm sure. But we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna probably have to take these 2 triangles off. Now these are a little bit wider than I want, so we're gonna cut those down a little bit. But we're gonna take this piece and just make this triangle go this way. We have this little point here that was right in the center, and we're just going to bring that down. So now we know I'm gonna lay it on here. That piece kind of fits over here in this corner. Now we're probably gonna have to trim some of the little ends off them when we get done, but at least we know kind of where they go until we decide how we wanna lay them on here. I'm gonna do kind of the same with this other end. I'm gonna go back toward that little centerpiece, and just kind of, it doesn't have to be a perfect triangle, obviously, because we've got these corners here and we're not cutting those off. We're leaving those little corner pieces. So now we've got that one. Let's take, this was the bottom, so this is our right hand corner. So let's make another, this one's gonna be a little bit smaller, triangle for this one. It's not gonna be as long as the other ones because I didn't do this where I measured it out or anything like that. So my triangles might not lay exactly the same, and that's okay. I'm not even worried about that. This one goes here. I'm just gonna lay them like this so we know where they go. We've got this one on this side, and what I'm gonna do with this piece is I'm just gonna cut this directly in half. So we've got a couple of little, just little kind of triangles on the side if we want them. And they don't have to be perfect. Like I said, ours are kind of going this way. Now this triangle here fits right here. So I'm gonna do the same with this one. We're gonna cut this one in half. And this is the fun thing about designing something like this when you're not using dies. You kind of get to be creative with it, play around, figure out what works, what doesn't work. And this works fine. I just kind of cut it a little over to the right when I should have gone to the left a little bit. So all of my triangles are just a little bit wonkier than they should be, if you so to speak. A little bit to the right, and that's okay. I don't care. It's gonna be gorgeous when we get it done anyway. And then these two fit right there. All right, so then just put your paper trimmer away because you don't really need that anymore. Now on their card, they added some vellum triangles, but I'm not gonna do any vellum on this one because I'm doing both the Designer Series paper and the Melon Mambo. when they did the vellum, they were just using the designer series paper. So now I'm going to kind of set these off so we have two different little areas here, so that we can figure out which ones we want to use, which ones, how we're going to alternate them. And that's really what we're going to do. We're just going to get them affixed to our piece of Daffodil Delight, and then we're going to, you know, alternate and figure out, like I said, which ones we want where. So I'm going to start with this piece. You know what? Yes, let's start with this piece in this corner. I'm just going to use some Tombow glue, because that way we can move them around just a little bit if we need to after they're on the page. And now I know this fits directly in this corner because that's where it came from. That's the hardest part, is making sure you keep all your little triangle pieces so you know where they came from. So separating them like this is perfect. I'm gonna add this one in this corner. See, because now I do want some of this Daffodil Delight to show through as well. That's why we're gonna alternate. And our sentiment is going to be on a Whisper White rectangle. So it's going to cover up the center of our little area here. So if it's not perfect, that's okay, not a big deal. We'll go with this one next. Yeah, and we'll just actually put it right next to it. Why not? Because that one fits. Actually, does that one fit that way? I may have put these next to each other wrong. No, maybe not. We're just gonna leave it kind of pointed up, because I kind of want it pointed up. So we have just a little bit coming with that Daffodil Delight right there. And then we'll put this triangle in the center. And again, if you don't have it perfect, don't worry about it, because I mean, look at this, mine's not perfect, but it is super cute. It's gonna be adorable once everything's put where it needs to be. Let's take, yeah, I think I may have put those in the wrong spots. So that's all right. We're gonna go with one of our Mango Melody pieces up here on the top. It's still gonna be a super bright, shiny card, sunshiny card, I should say. Grab a tissue just to wipe it up so I don't end up gluing my card to my workspace, because that really would be my luck. It really, really would. All right, we need this one in the corner, I think. And then we can just do one more Melon Mambo piece over here. And then we have pieces left over. We could make another card with it because we got lots of triangle pieces and cut up pieces. And of course, if you were using the dies, you could limit the number of pieces that you cut so you wouldn't have as many left over. And that would be okay. And now this little triangle kind of goes this way. But like I said, I don't have those dies, so I'm winging it with these ones. All right. I kind of like how that looks, like that little pinwheel sunshiny. It's a little bit different than theirs, definitely different than theirs. And then we're going to take a piece of, I'm going to set all my little triangles off to the left here, out of the way. We're going to take a small piece of Whisper White, and actually on the third card, they die cut it out. So we could do that. Or not die cut it out, but fussy cut it out. We could do that, or we could do just a rectangle. So let's see, with this Whisper White, we're gonna stamp it again in Melon Mambo, that same sentiment, You Are My Sunshine. And now on theirs, they did not add that the little sun rays, but I want to add the little sun rays because I love those. I think those are adorable. And we'll add it twice again down here. Now, I think I am gonna fussy cut that out just because I like doing that. So let's fussy cut this out. And we're not going to do 100% perfect around these, but we'll go around them and then kind of decide if we need to add like cut around each one individually, or if these two are okay like that. We're gonna leave it for just a second and see once we get around here and decide what we want to do. And it's always helpful when you're fussy cutting just to cut off the extra little pieces that are kind of in your way, because it will make it much easier on you if they're just not there. Because when you're trying to come around, sometimes they will get in your way and get caught on your thumb or your forefinger, and then you're like, oh my gosh, why is this not cutting and I can't get around this, and it's a little frustrating. So I hope you are all having a great day today. Has anyone done anything fun today? Anything interesting? Did you get to get out of the house, go for a walk, go to the beach, if you're near the beach, and keep your social distance from everyone else while you're at the beach? I live in Florida, and that's one of the things that a lot of people do. I'm not a beach person, so it wasn't a big deal to me when the beach is closed. Now, some people, like, that really is their ray of sunshine, is getting up in the morning, going for a walk on the beach. And I guess maybe if I lived on the beach, I would do that, but I'm 45 minutes from the beach. So for me to drive 45 minutes to go for a walk on the beach in the morning just isn't my thing. There, that's kind of cute. So we've got our You Are My Sunshine. I'm gonna put some dimensionals on the back of it. I'm like, where did I put my big dimensionals? But here they are. I'm gonna put those on there. I'm gonna do one more right here just to kind of even it out. And then I'm gonna add some more of those Artistry Blooms sequins on there because I love the sparkle that they add. Oh, those kind of look like little fingers right now to me. I know there's rays of sunshine, but they look like little fingers right now. All right, we'll grab those sequins. We've got some extra ones here. Now, this is actually an extra sheet that came in the paper pumpkin, but it's the same color that's in the kit. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep on using them, and it's in that Mango Melody color, so they're really pretty. And I love that this color here. It's, like I said, it's either Rich Razzleberry or Melon Mambo or one of those colors. But it's so pretty. So there we have it. There's our cute little Ray of Sunshine card. You Are My Sunshine. Let me grab that original card. I had a little bit of glue on my finger there, I think. So there are both of them. So you could start out with just this. You can end up with something a little more, with a little more detail to, oh, shoot, I didn't even put it on the card yet. Hello. It's a good thing I'm not live, because y'all would be definitely yelling at me like, you don't have it on the card yet, lady. My goodness. I tell you, this is why it's a good thing I have not live, because you would definitely be letting me know I was losing my mind just a little bit, right? But that's okay. It's one of those days. I'm telling you, it's getting dark out again. I feel like we're gonna have another thunderstorm. And lately, every time we have a thunderstorm, the power goes out. So I'm worried sometimes about doing my video later in the evening when those thunderstorms are rolling through, just because I'm afraid the power is gonna go out during the middle of the video as well. So if that ever happens, I apologize. There we go, much better. It is a complete card now because it's actually a card. I appreciate you joining me for Update Tuesday. I hope you make some of these You Are My Sunshine cards. They're super adorable. They are easy to make. I mean, obviously you just got to cut some little triangles, and you can do it however you want. If you have the dies, use the dies. If you want to draw them on and cut them out, do that first. I just did them a little bit different because I wanted to try it with the paper trimmer. So I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday evening. Make sure you share, make sure you comment, give me some love. I completely appreciate you all. I hope you join me again tomorrow for One Card Wonder Wednesday. Bye.